prison is only a part of this disciplinary system. When I mean disciplinary system, I don't mean that society has been organized on this type. What I call disciplinary system is much more a kind of rationality than a total institution. And that's the difference between what Goffman has described, that is, real institutions with a certain kind of organization, internal organization. What I mean by disciplinary system is much more kind of rationality. How can we govern other people, form other people, obtain that people behave in a certain way? Which are the best means, the most economical means, the most efficient means in order to obtain that? And that's the discipline, I think. See? After a while, after more than 1 century of trying this disciplinary system, people noticed that it was not at all the most economical means, but a very costly means. And that there are much more efficient and discreet and implicit ways of informing and leading peoples than this disciplinary techniques. And for instance, to give you only an example, when you see how the great factories have been organized, at least in France, at the beginning of the 18th century. You see very well that they had as a model disciplinary rationality, with a general survey, with very strict rules and so on, at this point that when the great mines have been exploited in France in the second half of the 18th century, the idea of the government was to use soldiers as miners, or to transform miners in soldiers, because they considered that there were one good disciplinary organization, which was the army, and the workers' class was supposed to be organized as an army in order to be efficient, docile, and so on. But in the middle of the 19th century, you see very well that, or even in 1820, 1830, people noticed that it was not at all the good means in order to have docile workers, but that the system, like the les assurances, insurance, caisse d'épargne, saving banks, and so on, what was something much more efficient than this military discipline. And so the control, a new kind of control and organization developed from this moment, which we could call the assurantial control system, which is something very different, much more efficient, and much more acceptable than the disciplinary system.